What's going on, boys and girls? Welcome to this episode of Big South Outdoors TV. As you can see, Leonard, my equipment trailer, is not behind me. There's a reason for that. I am taking Clifford, my work truck. You've heard of Clifford the big red dog? Well, this is Clifford the big red truck. Clifford is a 2014 Ford F150. It's got the 5-liter Coyote, and it's got an emissions problem. No biggie. I just got to get the catalytic converter replaced on the driver's side, which is bank 2, and we're heading in to do that. It's slowing down a little bit, but we're going to take tomorrow off and get this thing put in the shop so we can get it done. But I'm going to get it onto the shop, and I'll show you what we're going to be doing when I get there. All right, boys and girls. We are here, and this dude didn't even stop at the stop sign. He just kept right on coming. I reckon it takes all kinds, guys. All right, guys, I am backed in. Let me get out and show you what we got, what we're dealing with. Nate should be here in just a minute. So, this is what we've got. We have a Magnaflow catalytic converter. It is considered a high flow cat. If I can, here we go. That's it. It is a big round cat. There's the honeycomb in it right there. This is considered a high flow cat, but what I like about it is there's Nate. Yeah. Well, you get them out, it ain't locked yet. The directional flow is this way, but you see these two this section right here? There's a cone here and a cone here. And there's only a section about that wide, about as wide as my finger, in between. And in there is where the, well, you see it right here, right there, and right there. I said that wrong. It's a little bit wider than my finger, but that is where the O2 sensor goes. So that's what they're going to be putting on. Now, let me show you what it's got. It has a walker, I think. That's it right there. You see how much smaller that cat is compared to the other one? It's smaller in diameter, and it's about, I'd say about 4.5 inches, 5 inches shorter. The problem is, this one, that right there is broke and is rattling. You can't hear it on camera, but it is rattling. So when we get it fixed and get it inspected, we'll continue this video. Well, good Friday morning, guys. We are on the way to get Clifford. They just called and said it was ready. So
notice how his hands aren't on a steering wheel.
Yeah, Nate is driving me over there. His truck, Jack, formerly known as Gertrude. So as soon as we get there, get everything taken care of business-wise, I'll show y'all what they did, and then I'll explain some very important details that you need to know in the event you have to do this to your truck.
This is actually Jack Wickerson we're driving. He's a transformer.
Yeah. Okay. But we're gonna stop get us something to fill up our tanks, because we still have to go to work.
And we ain't had breakfast.
Nope. Gotta have breakfast. And And by the way, this is Friday morning. It's 2 days later. So it took them, it was a kind of a headache. I'll tell you about all that later. All right, guys, we got the business part straightened out, taken care of. The total price, lock, stock, and barrel. This does not include the cost of the cat, which was $250. But total price was $500. The labor and installation was $250. But let me show you what they had to do. All right, I'm under the truck. This is the new cat. It is a Magnaflow, and it is quite a bit bigger than the one that was on it. And they had to near about do the funky chicken to get this thing on here. And let me explain to you, that weld looks really good right there. Let me explain to you what they had to do. This pipe right here had to be spliced in because whoever put the other cat in used a really tiny pipe right here. You can see the difference in the size of those pipes right there. Well, the problem is when you buy a quote, and I'm using air quotations, universal cat and not a direct fit, this is what you run into. And the problem is you have, it goes in there at such an angle, and I know I'm moving the camera around a lot, but it goes in there at such an angle, you have to have several welds in order to get it to hold right. Now, that right there, it's up inside the pipe and it's welded right there. So it's not leaking. But the next one I buy, oh, I forgot. The stud, the exhaust stud on this side, you can't, it's right there, you can't see it. But it broke, which is actually, it broke when they put the other one on and they never did fix it, which is actually what led to having to have this thing replaced. But let me get in Clifford and get him fired up, and I'll explain the rest of the story when I get in there. All right, I'm in Clifford now. I got the key in the ignition. Let's crank it up, crank him up and see if it sounds any different. Actually, it's quieter. It's quite a bit quieter. Let me get going because Nate's waiting on me. We got to go get some breakfast so we can get our butts to work. But what caused this issue from the beginning? Well, as I said when I was under the truck, they broke the stud, the exhaust manifold stud that actually holds the downpipe on, and it caused a leak. Now, what does that mean? Well, when you are when the catalytic converter has to reach a certain temperature in order to work and function properly. If it does not, the junk on the inside of it that it's supposed to be burning off, it literally builds up on the catalyst, the honeycombs, and I'll put a picture of a piece of honeycomb right here. It looks just like a piece of honeycomb cereal, but it's about that thick. And there's usually 2 bricks inside of one catalytic converter. Well, when that happened, all the exhaust was going out the side, which caused a cooler temperature inside the catalytic converter. When that happened, all the stuff started building up on the outside of it. And when it got to a certain point, it overheated and cracked. And when it cracked, it threw a code, and over a period of time, it kept getting worse and worse and worse. And about, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks ago, and guys, I'm sorry I'm not looking at the camera, but about 2 weeks ago, I noticed it was rattling real bad. I thought it was something inside the transmission. It wasn't. It was where that piece of ceramic brick inside the catalytic converter was rattling around. I had the same thing happen on the white truck, and I thought, and honestly, it was a buzz, not a sound like something broke. It was a buzz, and it was right underneath the passenger side seat. Well, what it was, and I didn't know it, the back catalytic converter had failed and broke, and that buzzing sound was the little parts and pieces in there vibrating around like that, and that's what caused the sound. But anyway, where we're at right now, the bill is paid, and I've got to drive it for about 100 miles and make sure the check engine light does not come back on, and then I can get it inspected. Because without this job being done, I couldn't get it inspected. It wouldn't pass the emissions test. But anyway, I hope you guys learned something from this. I certainly did. I thought that going the way of, well, let me back up. Let me say this. The direct fit catalytic converter has a small piece of pipe at the end about like that, and it's the curve that you saw underneath the truck. And then it's got the flange. Well, that catalytic converter is $750. It's called a direct fit. Well, if you buy the one I bought, it's $250, but it's actually $250 cheaper doing it this way. As you saw, the total bill, lock, stock, and barrel, was $500. He said it was going to last about 5 years, maybe on the outside, maybe 7 years. But in between now and then, I'm probably going to buy either a factory or a direct fit catalytic converter and do it that way next time, because it'll be a lot easier. Yes, it'll cost more money, but it'll be a lot easier and a lot less, and it may be something I can do myself. So anyway, that's going to do it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. That's my main goal. I hope you were able to take some knowledge away from what I've told you in this little last segment here that maybe will help you in doing whatever you, and this doesn't apply to just Ford F150s. This applies to all cars. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. Please be sure and click the like button, click the subscribe button, guys. That helps the channel. That makes the channel grow. That gets me more recognition from YouTube, and that's my goal, to be able to bring you guys more and better content that you can learn something and take away and maybe apply in your life. So again, I'm glad you're here. This is Brian with Big South Outdoors TV, reminding you to live big, live Southern, and live outdoors. Until the next one, guys, have a good one.